When most people think of gemstones, they think of beauty, luxury, astrology, or maybe an investment. But very few stop to ask an important question. How do you know the gemstone you are buying is actually genuine? In today's market, where natural stones, treated stones, lab grown gemstones, and imitations often look almost identical, buying a gemstone has become more than just a purchase. It has become a decision that requires trust and knowledge. Our guest today comes from a family that has spent more than 3 decades building that trust. What started in the sacred city of Varanasi in 1989 has today grown into one of India's respected names in the gemstone industry, with a legacy built over 3 generations. What's even more interesting is how they have combined traditional gemstone knowledge passed down through generations with modern technology, education, and certification. Transparency to create a business that focuses not just on selling gemstone but on helping people make informed decisions. Joining us today is the CEO of Shiv Parvati Gemstone, Prakhar Thakur. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hi,
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. So, sir, Shiv Parvati Gemstone has a legacy of 3 generations. Looking back, what do you think is the biggest lesson passed down by your grandfather or father?
If we talk about like gemstones, so the biggest lesson that was passed by my father was like whenever a client comes to us, he or she is like always in some kind of a problem. She might be stuck in some kind of a situation. She might not be financially happy, and like maybe they are facing some mental issues, or like they are facing some diseases. These kind of people mostly go to gemstones when they have no choice. Like they have consulted doctors, they have tried everything, they have tried every way to do business and improve their life financially, or maybe they tried like living a balanced life, but there is some issues and they cannot see it, they cannot identify it. Then they come to us for to buy gemstones. Like they first go to the astrologer, then the astrologer recommend the gemstone, and then they come to us. So basically the thought that my father gave me was mostly the people come to you for help, and you should never ever give them a fake stone. This is the biggest problem in the market as well, that people end up buying fake gemstones. So the main message was never ever try to cheat someone, or like give artificial stones or maybe treated stones, because they are helpless, and doing unethical things with helpless people will give you adverse effects on your business and on your personal life. So the only lesson I would say that was passed from my father to me was never cheat someone who is coming to you, because you are their last hope. So that was the lesson that I remember mostly.
So, Prakha, you just mentioned that your grandfather told you to never cheat your clients. So, how do you help your clients identify the right kind of gemstone and whether it is real or not?
Actually, like if you watch, what I want to promote is like all like when my grandfather started and the beginning stage of my father, there used to be no machines in India. Specifically in India, we were not like so developed, and there were no gemstone testing labs. So what my father used to do was identify the gemstones by their own eyes. Like if you go to a doctor, he will see your symptoms and
Sure.
tell you that you are facing this disease, or you are like suffering from this disease, and you need this medicine only by looking at your symptoms, like what signs are your body showing, like that. So in gemstones it's the same case. If it is a natural gemstones, it will show a certain symptoms, it will show a certain inclusions, a type of inclusions, and it will have a certain like in a layman language, it will have a certain face. Like you can identify any gemstone by looking at it, at its inclusion, at and the symptoms. The basic idea was when I started promoting my business online. So like my idea was only to uh, to promote how a person can identify by like naked eyes, like by just watching the gemstone. And we do this so everyone can do this. Like what my father what my father told me how to identify by naked eye, I promoted the same. I started making videos that if it is a yellow sapphire stone, it is a Pukhraj stone. There are certain symptoms, and I started teaching the people online, and they really loved it. Even I received call from all over the India that by looking at your videos, I just had an idea that my gemstone is not real, and then I got it tested from a reputed laboratory, and it actually was not a real stone. It was a heated stone. So it is really helping people, and I'm looking forward to promoting the same. Like we mostly promote like no machines is required, no equipment is required. You can just look at the gemstones and tell if the gemstone is real or not, because a gemologist usually does this. And even it's not, I would not say it's easy for a normal people, for a layman it's not easy, but if they understand the gemstones and read some blogs and like watch some videos on YouTube, which is absolutely free, then they can 100% identify their stones.
So, what's one trick you would advise your clients to identify the right stone in a world where so much scam is happening? How would you help them with just one advice?
uh, Basically, if you want one advice, then it's you should go to a trusted lab. Like I can mention the names. It's for Indians, the best lab is IIGJ, Indian Institute of Gems and Jewelry. Then we have IGI also, but the best is IIGJ. I have been there, and they have the best equipment. So IIGJ is the best if you need only one advice. And like,
Not many people have a resource to go to these labs.
yeah, that's why I also identified that if you want to go to IIGJ is the only trustable lab in India. We have IGI and other labs also, but mostly the gem testing lab which is trustable. Actually there are hundreds of labs, but all labs are not trustable. It's
True.
like you are getting a blood test from a local laboratory, and you are getting a blood test from a Dr. Lalpath labs and something like a big lab, Agilus or something like that. So you always want to go to a trusted laboratory because they have only the machines. And the main problem here is it is available only in metropolitan cities. So I also identified the same problem, and that's why I make videos. Like by looking with the naked eyes, you can only get some idea that if your gemstone is fake or not. The final stamp should be of a trusted laboratory only. I can tell 110%. I can tell if you like call me or approach me. It's like I have a free consultancy services every weekend. Like for 2 hours, I attend calls or video calls, and I tell people that if their gemstone is real or not, they can call me and like get it tested for free on call or video call, and it's 100% accurate. That's not a problem, but the final stamp should be of a gem testing laboratory, and then you can travel to metropolitan cities, like to your nearest metropolitan city, and get it tested by a government approved laboratory only.
That's great. So, your father in 1989 traveled to Nepal to source Rudraksha. So, that was a very bold decision at that time for the business. How do you think it made the pathway for the future?
Actually, like, yes, it was like my father always used to take big risks, and I think he was blessed by God, or maybe something. It was his destiny that he reaped big rewards after these big risks. So yeah, so yes, initially it was like a calculated risk by his approach. Like he was thinking it was a calculated risk, and the basic idea was to create a monopoly and the name for like him. If you read on our like social pages as well, it was like my father was doing the business with his grandfather with the traditional approach only, but he wanted to make a name for himself and for Shiv Parvati gems. So he went to Nepal to source the Rudraksh directly from its origin. If you know or not, the Rudraksha come from Nepal only. So he
Yes.
went to Nepal to purchase directly from the source and then sell it here. So that worked. Initially, he sold it for like lesser than the market price. He faced losses also, but that created a name for itself, and then later he cashed on the name.
That's nice. So, Prakhar, how do you have been interacting with customers for so long? Shiv Parvati Gemstone have been there for 3 generations. How do you help the customers, and what do you think is the biggest mistake a customer can make while buying a gemstone?
Biggest mistake clients usually do is like talking to different gemstone dealers. I am not saying that you should buy from me, but whenever you are looking for gemstone, you should first do the research that who is the best and like maybe top 5 or top 10 in India, and then you should just like trust on the person you are talking to, because he is the expert, he knows what he's doing. You should trust him for what is he giving, and like you should do your own research that I need this gemstone certificate, I need to verify these things, I need to look for these things if my gemstone is real or not, and trust only one seller. If you go to different seller for the comparison of price, then there are high chances that you end up buying a treated or heated stone. I'm not saying that you will buy a absolutely fake one, but there are so many kinds of treatment. Like for example, I am wearing a blue sapphire. What people do is like they heat this sapphire. It is a natural tendency of these stone when it is heated, like normally heat, like it is heated at 1400 degrees Celsius. When we heat this, the color enhances. Like if it's light blue, it will like become dark blue. So it is a heating process. But while doing this heating process, the astrological benefits of these gemstones will be lost. And what I am saying is, if you compare to different shops, you will be like looking at the stone, you will say that Shiv Parvati Gems is giving a light colored stone, and maybe his competitor, their competitor is giving a dark colored stone in the same price, and that stone might be heated. And that's completely natural, because gemstone testing laboratories will write it as a natural stone, but it is a heated stone, and you will not get astrological benefits. If you are wearing for jewelry purpose or or any other purpose, then it's okay, you can wear a heated stone. Heated stones are costly as well. But if your main purpose is astrology and astrological benefits, then you will not receive any benefits by wearing these heated stones. So the again in one liner, I would like to conclude that never ever compare prices of gemstones. You should look for the name and like,
How genuine the
yes,
gemstone
how
is.
genuine the gemstone dealer is, because they became big because only because they are selling at genuine prices. If they are like taking 10x margins or 100x margin, which is a mostly circulated myth in the market, but it's not like that. If we were selling on high margins, then we cannot open more and more stores and reach out to more customers, because
True.
everyone is now smart. Only you are not smart. Everyone is smart today, and everything is available online. So you should never
True.
compare the prices. Once you find a trusted dealer, just trust on his words, and you will get the best one.
Right. So, in your experience, you must have seen multiple cases. Has there been any incident where a customer was advised the wrong gemstone by the astrologer?
Yeah, basically it happens a
Yeah.
lot, like because today there are many apps and there are many everybody, like mostly I have seen in like females that they want to become an astrologer, and they have so much like interest in astrology.
Yeah.
So like I think,
And after every breakup, they seek an advice from the
yeah,
astrologer.
yeah. So they want to go to astrologer, and they want to wear a gemstones,
Yeah.
and like mostly they do not do research, again the research part, that how much experience the astrologer has, and like how much knowledge does he have. Astrologers, like if we want to be a manager at a high level, and like an MNC, we have to do like 12th class, then graduation, then
True.
post graduation, then maybe some other specialized course in which in whatever field we want to pursue. We like for a specialized job post, we study at least for 5 years at least. And while consulting astrologer, we should look that he she should have at least 5 years of studies and 5 years of experience. So then he will guide you the exact gemstones. And I think whenever client comes to me, I get the kundli re-verified, like his birth chart. I get it re-verified by my astrologer, because he has done PhD. And
So,
like
you
I
have an in house astrologer as well?
Yes, we do have an in-house astrologer, just for the same case like you told, because I want to re-verify and make sure that the gemstone recommended to my client is the exact gemstone that she should wear, because everybody cannot wear any gemstone.
True.
Only few gemstones, like mostly people have only two gemstones for them. So you cannot wear any gemstone and expect it to give you benefits only. It might side effect you as well, and that's where the problem is. And that's why we are solving this by keeping an in-house experienced astrologer. So like I get it re-verified and then only give the gemstones.
So there are multiple forms of gemstone, natural gemstones are there, the lab grown, and then there are fake imitations. So can you differentiate in simple language for the buyers to understand?
It's very easy. Like there are 2 3 tests that you can do, and it's very easy to like identify the imitation, lab grown, and the real stones. You cannot easily distinguish between a real stone and a treated real stone. You cannot easily distinguish them, but you can very easily differentiate between the real one and the imitation or lab grown. Imitation and lab grown stones are always like their weight density is less. If you hold a real gemstone in your left hand and like the imitation or fake one in the right hand, always this will be heavy, because this is a real stone and this is a glass. Like this will look big but weigh much more less, and this will look small but weigh very heavy, because there is a very significant difference. Also, when this is the first test, that I call it weight density test to identify, this works every time and with every gemstone. Then the second test is like you hold both the gemstone in your hands again and close your fist, and then this gemstone, when you the real one will, when you open your hand, it will like never get hot. Like its natural temperature will always be cold, and your hand will also turn cold because of the natural tendency of real gemstone. And this gemstone will increase its temperature, and like maybe you will be sweating in this hand because it's a fake one. So this is the second test, the temperature test. I call it the temperature test. So the first was weight density, the second one was temperature test, and like the third test is like getting the gemstone tested in the lab. So the
Labs.
third is absolutely like the stamp, I would say. But for by the first two, you'll identify easily.
You before mentioned that you educate people on your social media. Why don't you push more for the sales, and you are more directed towards educating people? Why is that?
To be honest, like I was, when I was starting my social media handles, I researched a lot and I saw other gemstone pages that are doing good, and the brands which are like pushing the content. I What I got to know from the research is like I noticed that the biggest problem of the customer whenever they come to me or in the whole market is they want to buy the gemstone. They are really interested in the gemstone, but they do not wear the gemstone only because they don't have a trusted store or a trusted dealer. They are never so sure that like if I'll get a real stone or not. That's the biggest problem of the client, and nobody is educating how to identify the gemstone. So to be honest, I thought it as a great marketing idea that I'll get famous, and the customer is a secondary part. Like if you have a good audience and you have good people and you have a good family over the social handles, then the customer eventually follows, because I have like studied this I before doing it practically. So the to be honest, the main idea was like to create a gemstone family, the people who are interested in gemstones. So that's why I started teaching the naked eye ways to identify your gemstone, and it worked. Like I had good views, and then the people who were wearing fake gemstones, they wanted to replace their fake gemstones with me. And the people who were looking for gemstones, they started gaining trust because nobody was telling how to identify, and I am telling. So they trusted that he might be selling the real ones, and people started coming to us. And even now I am very surprised that like people usually come to our stores from, even from foreign countries, sometimes from the US. They do not specifically come here, but they wait. Like the NRIs who are living abroad, they watch our videos continuously, watches them, and when they come to India in their vacations, maybe visiting their parents home, then they come to our store. So I always get surprised. It's like a regular thing now, but whenever they come, it's like very surprising for me. But like it worked in a genuine way.
Yeah. So yes, buyers do, struggle with trust. So what do you think? How does a trustworthy gemstone dealer looks like?
Trustworthy gemstone dealer looks like that's quite funny in a way, because he doesn't have a face or something. That trust can not be judged by anyone's face, but like there are certain things you can look
But
for.
today face value is one of the important things.
Yeah, face
In
value.
Indian mentality, we either go for legacy, which is your
Yeah, yeah,
business,
yeah,
or for the face value. Many
yeah.
must be coming from foreign countries because what you are teaching them or educating them about.
But like you cannot look to a gemstone dealer, you should look to his principles, to his
Yes.
values, and what are the values of the company. Certificate is everybody is giving, like certificate everybody is giving, every brand is giving the certificate of gemstone, so it's a like complementary part. Now you have to look for other things. What else are you like, what else the gemstone dealer or his company is offering you. So we have written a statement on our GST bill, which is legally accepted. We consulted various lawyers and then created this policy. The first policy is in favor of customer, that if you buy a gemstone ring from me and you get it tested from any other lab, we will refund 110% of the amount you paid to us. Like if you buy a 1 lakh gemstone from me, we will return you 1 lakh 10,000. So 10,000 extra for your like emotions and everything that got wasted by trusting on us. And then 51,000 extra because you proved that a trusted legacy gemstone brand is selling a fake gemstone. So it has never happened because we obviously test the gemstone before giving to our client. But this is a policy, and an extra policy that we are offering to our customers. Then there are different things, like you should buy gemstone only from the gemstone dealer, not from the astrologer, because some astrologers are also selling the gemstones. But the thing is, they are not like having a stock for them. They do not have the gemstone stored with them. They are trading, they are taking from a gemstone dealer and giving it to you. So why you don't visit the gemstone dealer directly?
Directly.
Why you are dealing with an astrologer, with a middleman?
Hmm.
I would not say that you should not buy from any astrologer, but the astrologer who has good stock, who is teaching you about the gemstones also, and who is showing you different pieces. Like you should not see one stone and buy it. You should look for the options. Like you should look for 10, 20 stones and then select one from the 10 or 20 stone. Like from various option, you select one. And if a gemstone dealer is offering you such policies and showing a big stock, and then he's like, he's not forcing you to buy a specific piece. He has left everything on you. Like you select from my stock, I have a big stock, and you can select from it whatever your budget is. He's showing different qualities, different varieties. So you should look for all of these features, that they have invested a large amount in the stones, because whoever has a bigger stock will never cheat you, because he actually he actually cares for his name, for his like the business value, the image of his brand. He cares for it. So even if a single person files a legal case that you have given him a fake stone or not, the stories stay up on the internet for like for years. You cannot remove it. If he posts a fake review or anything, that like if you go on Gemini, you put my brand's name and like whatever brand name you are looking for, and then you type just like, tell me any negative reviews, or tell me like uh, if they have sold any fake gemstones. So he will, what Gemini will do, he will look Gemini or Chat GPT. AI will, what AI will do, it will research all over the internet and tell you the exact bad or worst reviews about the brand. So it's very tough to like gain positive reviews, and it's very easy to like a person who, if you have sold a fake stone, he will type a review and it will be over the internet for years, and now, as you know, you are dealing in the same agency, so it's quite tough to remove the real reviews. Like if
True.
he has visited your store, Google is tracking his location and everything. You cannot remove his review if it's actually genuine, and you have not given your best to the client. So we are always on our toes, and all our managers and of different store are always alert that nothing wrong should happen with the client, because all our business depends on the trust and image. Like the main part is trust.
So, Prakha, your family had already successfully established a wholesale business. What made the shift towards direct consumer sales?
Actually, it's my story, because what we have to do in a B2B business, like we have to go to different jewelers, then we have to show our articles, and then they buy from it. Like whatever they like, they will buy from it. But when I started the business, I found it as an opportunity that we are importing the gemstones from foreign countries. Why don't we directly give them to our clients and eliminating all the middlemen? Like what my father used to do was, in B2B business, he used to import from Sri Lanka the sapphires. For example, he used to import sapphires from Sri Lanka. Then he used to sell it to the biggest trader of this city, for example, Delhi. Then the trader used to sell it to the small traders. Then the small trader used to sell it to the retailers, and
Yeah,
then the retailers give it to you. So there are
consumers.
4 to 5 middlemen involved in supplying the gemstones, and I identified it as a very good opportunity that I'll promote. I'll make my videos going to the mines, sourcing it, and I will exactly prove my customers that I am sourcing it directly from the mines. People say it, every people, even if you go to a local store, he has a very small store, very less stones, but he will also say that I have bought directly from the mines. For example, if you ask for his passport, if you are going to Sri Lanka, you can show the stamps. And I
True.
have done this. I have one of my foreign clients from New York. He asked, if you go to the mines, you show your passport. Then I showed my passport. My one passport was already filled, and because we go every 45 days, 50 days, we have to go to Sri Lanka. And then there are multiple videos also of mines, me going to the mines, my brother going to the mines, my elder brother, and like sourcing the gemstones, cutting the gemstone. We make a whole story and then sell the gemstone, so that customer are 100% sure that their gemstones are not used, their gemstones are not second hand, and they are ethically sourced from directly from the mines itself. So they have the maximum benefits. And coming back to your questions, so this was my whole idea, that I can eliminate all the middlemen and reach out to the customers directly. So that's why I entered into like retailing sector, leaving the B2B business aside.
So, looking at Shiv Parvati gemstone today, what do you think your customer should walk out with? Just a gemstone or much more than that?
Uh, as our name suggests, Shiv Parvati Gems.
Yeah.
Initially, my father kept the name Shiv Parvati because it's our story that it started from Varanasi. It's a place of Shiva itself, and then
Yeah.
we used to deal in Rudraksha only, not in gemstone.
Okay.
Initially, for a few years, we were like my father and grandfather was dealing in Rudraksha only,
Rudraksh.
not in gemstone. So Rudraksha is like tier of
Shiv.
Shiva.
Yeah.
So and the city where Shiv Parvati gems started, so it was the city of Shiva also. And like so my father wanted to keep a name related to Shiva only,
Yeah.
but my like he was already married, and my mother advised, like she worships goddess Durga a lot. She is like every time she is in problem, she goes to goddess Durga and it works. So she said, like, you should keep both Shiv and Parvati, not only Shiv, because Shiv is also not complete without Parvati. So it will
Yeah.
be an incomplete name. So the initial idea was Shiv Parvati. Yeah, like just because we are from Kashi, we kept the name Shiv Parvati Gems. When I entered into the business, doing the business for 1.5 years, I tried being a Gen Z. I like my brain was always like, you have to change the name, you have to keep a modern name. seeing the brands. Like then I, for 2 3 months, I started promoting it as Gemsify. That I changed the name and I put it as Gemsify. So for 2 months, you will not believe the business was like 30 to 40% down just by changing the name. Then I realized that name has an energy, that Shiv Parvati together has a different kind of energy. Then I changed the name, I changed the logo also. The logo initially was Gemstone, but then if you look at my logo today, it's the Damru of Shivji representing as diamonds and also a flower for Parvati. So I changed the logo itself. The day I implemented the logo, at that day is like was like the biggest value of gemstone I sold the day only. So I realized that this name has a energy, and then I promoted it. And now, like after a few years, I know that this name had an energy. Like Shiva is always incomplete about Parvati. Shiva is the like peak masculine energy in this world, but the most powerful man who can create the world, who can destroy the world, is also nothing
Incomplete
without
without
his
Shakti, yeah.
wife. Like, and whenever like there is a big problem, he always goes to Parvati
Parvati.
to solve the problem. So then it became the principle and motive of our like business, that we are offering a complete and balanced life. It's not about the money. You can have all the money, but you cannot have the mental peace and a happy family and a balanced life. So whenever somebody purchases a gemstone from us, our main motive is to give him or her a balanced life. Not only the money, not only the happiness. We want everything for everybody. That's our main objective, and that's why a complete name, Shiv Parvati Gemstones.
One story that you wanna tell where your customer came and told you about how satisfied they were with the gemstone and how it balanced out their life, as just you mentioned.
Actually, there are multiple
Yeah.
stories. Like I cannot tell the best one because there are many best ones, but I would like to tell you the first one when I started believing in gemstones. Even when I entered into this business as a kid, I always used to like say to my father that this business will not work. These are based on assumptions. These things not work, and things like that. I did not wear the gemstone. Even after my graduation, I was not wearing any kind of gemstones. My father was selling all over India, but I was not wearing a gemstone because I did not believed in it. And I started selling also. I was not wearing the gemstones. What happened? A family of a husband and wife came to my store, and husband bought Pukhraj for himself. He believed in gemstones quite a lot. So he was like studying about it, the astrology. He had a deep interest in astrology. So Pukhraj suited him. Like he got the promotion he wanted and everything. This is a normal story. This happens with everybody.
Yeah.
Whoever has wear a real gemstone, they might know the like
Effects of it,
benefits.
yes.
But then what happened? He came one day. He came alone at my store and said, "My wife doesn't believe in gemstone, and astrologer has suggested a red coral. It is known as Munga, red coral gemstone for her health, and we are not able to conceive. Like we want a child, but she is not able to conceive, and maybe it's because of the gemstone she's not wearing." So I would not say like then yeah, because I designed jewelry for her wife. I am a jewelry designer as well. So he said that he consider you as her brother, and if you say she will wear gemstones, she will wear a coral ring. You design a good ring and give it to her, and she will wear it. So in my mind, I was not convinced because it was for me it was a cheap thought that gemstone, how can gemstones help in conceiving, and the problem might be on you also. That the thoughts, these kinds of thoughts were running in my mind.
Logical thoughts
But yeah,
that.
logical thoughts. But then because he was asking for a help, so like it was my moral duty to do this. So one day they both came at my store, and I almost forced his wife to wear the gemstone, like the coral ring, and somehow she agreed that okay bhaiya, I will wear it for 6 months. If nothing happens, my health doesn't improve, like I'll just remove this ring. I said okay, you wear it for 6 months. When I sold the ring 3 months later, she was crying on call and saying that they have conceived a child finally. And of 9, 10, or maybe a year later, they came to my store with twins, and they were saying that we did not went to our home directly from the hospital. When we are discharged, we came here at your store because we believe that you played an important role in, like, so I, my mother and I was like very happy that these things also happen. And even then also I told that it might be a missing puzzle. It's not all about gemstones. I am not saying that you wear a certain gemstones and you will become Ambani, or maybe you'll get rich, or you will have a baby, or your mental problems will go away. But it might be a missing puzzle in your life. So everything is related to your work, and every, like, the karm you do, obviously, but gemstones do work.
What is the worst myth you have ever heard of about gemstones? There are multiple myths,
Actually, the
you know.
myths are created by the gemstone dealer
Yeah.
themselves, because as I told that if you are in the hierarchy of traders, if you are sitting at the last, you are receiving the gemstones uh, in the last part, like you are the retailer, and you are already, there are 5 people above you who have already taken their part of profit in the gemstones. So when the gemstones was mined from the Sri Lanka, it was of 1,000 rupees, for example. Then 5 people, for example, kept their profit to a industry margin of 20%, for example, say. So you receive the gemstones already at 2,000, like the price of initial price of was 1,000, and you
Yes.
already have received as an astrologer or as a small retailer, you already have received the gemstone on valued at rupees 2,000 or maybe more. So you have already received a double price stone, and then when you will give to customer, it will be approximately 3x of the price that the customer should pay for the gemstone. So the biggest and the worst myth is, like, you have a very big margin in the gemstones, but it is created by small retailers and by astrologers themselves. So I would not blame the society that they are circulating a myth, or like traditionally every myth is circulated and created by the society, but it is created by us only. I
Yeah,
would say
true.
us only, by the small retailer, because my father was also once a small retailer. So it's created by us only, and since it has not an MRP, so people today also they are buying from small retailers and astrologers by trusting on them, but they end up buying a high price gemstone. So maybe a 2x, 3x, or maybe a 10x price stone. Like the gemstone should cost 1,000 rupees, and they are paying from their pocket 10,000 rupees for the same gemstone. By buying from importers like us, I'm not alone. There are 4 5 like me in India. So from buying people like us, they can like buy the gemstone for 1,200 maybe, and the same they are paying 10,000, 10x the cost. So that's the biggest myth, and it can be solved if you are like if you have done your research part well.
What's one advice you will leave your audience with today, whether they want to buy a gemstone or not?
One advice, if you are looking at this or listening to this podcast, or you want to buy a gemstones are not for you if you are struggling in your life financially. If you have a good family background, or you have already achieved the basic essentials of life, like you do not have to worry about your food, your shelter, and your clothes. These three things are already, like, you are earning that much that you know that now I can spend on any other thing. It's like a luxury. So first you complete these three things, then shift to the gemstones. It's not for like everybody. This is a controversial answer to your question, but this is the true answer itself, because cheap gemstone will never work. Only the expensive ones will work. For from the reference of a middle class family, I'm telling you that it's expensive. Like for example, you should have a budget of over 50,000 if you want a real gemstones that will work. So the one advice would be, first do your basic first complete your basic essentials of life, then go go towards the gemstones, because people are surviving without gemstones as well. It's not like everybody is wearing gemstones
True.
and everybody, every famous personality is wearing. Yes, most of them are wearing, most of them are using, but not everybody. There is Virat Kohli without wearing gemstones, but then there is Ravi Shastri and everybody who is wearing gemstones and getting the benefits from it. There is Rishabh Pant, and there are like numerous examples in numerous fields, but there is somebody who are doing it without the power of gemstone as well. So it's your choice, but I would advise just increase your budget and then go to explore gemstone and astrologically. It's like for for a richer part of the society. It's not because I am arrogant and i I have been blessed with a good life, mm, but it's the truth.
Thank you so much, Prakhar. Thank you. It was a very nice conversation.
Thank you so much.